ship. Who would save the captain? Part of the crew fastened their boots tight and ran for the spare boats with guns and ammo, as if it was safer. To respond in fear, setting themselves up for abandonment and isolation. With guns they might have needed for the use of survival against one another. The sobbing part of the crew hanging on, the laughing part of the crewmates, as if the nervous laughing was a security. Scattered crew who fainted or vomited overboard, others ignoring it all, playing cards and drinking inside as if it wasn't happening, enjoying themselves for the best outcome. Some crewmates acted like loose cannons, as if they had burlap bags over their head, used boxes and clothes to hide their head like ostriches. They didn't see the ghost ship in this manner. They thought that if they don't see the ship, then the ship doesn't see them in return. Problem avoided. Some crewmates now crowded around the captain, who was yelling that his ship will conquer by sailing through the center of the ghost ship. The captain repeated, "It's not real. It's not solid." The crowded crewmates around the captain were making noises to scare away the ship, or saying, "No, thank you, go away." Some of these are short.
Hey, Mommy, we had a problem.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about it.
We only got like half of
That's
it.
okay. Thank you. This one's called Buzzing Apologies. Impetus happened to you. Impetus returned to me. Thoughts of you lingering. I remember you while my life is a string of falling dominoes. You're still dreaming, you say. I'm in a rude awakening these days, facing rejection and confession, seeking your forgiveness. Apologies buzzing at your door. Only a voice through a speaker, and the voice said, I don't know if I can let you in these days. The speaker voice so loud with the crowds coming up and down. All I did was say that I understood before I ran away. So this is based off a car accident, or I guess I could have died, but I didn't. That had happened in December.
Yeah.
But it's also based off a Hindu who's, I gotta get his name, but he says you should always be the CEO of your own chemical factory, which is your body.
Maharishi
So-
Manishoki. Maharishi Manishoki. Don't worry,
I think
don't
it's
worry.
something like
Yeah.
that. He's really neat. Anyway, this is called Emergency Broadcast to God from the CEO of my chemical factory. This is an emergency broadcast. My chemical factory has called all the codes. Many years with minimal security has allowed visitors to trash my chemical factory. The body of my factory was knocked around in the big earthquake. Files from the day I was born went flying across the floor. The big review, as if it followed before my death. Chemicals stored and warehoused now cover the interiors of my factory. I have bad people in good rooms, and the maintenance crew completely quit. Nobody in janitorial gives a shit. Emergency broadcast, I tell you, God, I am still alive. CEO of my own chemical factory, the body that relies on only me. There wasn't proactivity before this mess. If there had been, then all these small trickles of changes wouldn't be flooding my basements in my chemical factory. My eyes now can see, as they are open, what has happened in only a few years. Dear God, get me out of here. I need a day of rest. I need a bailout from the crash of my factory. God save me, and I swear to change into the good CEO of my chemical factory for the rest of my days. This one's called Cold Amber Tea, and it has to do with stuff that grows out of the ground that you can make into a tea. If you can figure that out.
When you say stuff that goes right around.
Yeah, people get, they trip on it. They can make tea out of it. It's called Cold Amber. You'll know in a minute. Cold Amber Tea. of an hour, my peak now extended by direction. I strayed far away from my dear friends in a dense forest high above the ocean. I find 3 women giggling and dancing, one so bright with an aura of white lingering around her. Petite, thin, pale legs stand out from her mini white fairy dress. Short golden hair that frames her happiness. Cherry ruby lips, clear, sky blue eyes on her ivory face. Running now above the ocean view, she reaches the steel stairs. A dream going down to the beach, her forever paramour's arms extended to her like the sun rays. Okay, this one's called Disconnected, and it had to do with, it was a writing, we have a writing club on Mondays downstairs, and it was based off a proverb. I don't know what it was. It's called Disconnected. He was all dressed up to go. Keys, wallet, small box with one wish on one ring. And oh yes, his phone? Yes. He had not spoken to her in 2 months, and so many times he left her hanging, leading to breakups. She lived in a city since college. Same job since then, like clockwork. She visits the same places in her usual routine. Out of gas, he thinks, pulling up behind a line of cars overcrowding the gas pumps. And as he sits, he counts down the places that he did not find her. Finally, he reaches the gas pump. He decides to call her and confess his surprise to her. He could no longer hold the surprise that he had to tell her. He bought the ring they once looked at and even had the jeweler add an extra stone in her favorite color. He imagined adorning her with this ring and visualized how she would show anyone who would look. His last resort for contact. He called and the line was disconnected. Are you okay?
Yeah. It was just this. I couldn't get the angle right.
Okay.
Kind of. I had to hold it down here.
Okay. This one's called Amour's Crush. I read this last time. Crush stared out the window as his lover Amour was running nude outside with a pack of foxes. All the pearls in her smile shine with wisdom, her spirit free and untamable. Crush pushes the door open to demand of his lover to come inside. He remembers his love for her, and that must mean that she must listen. Amour didn't hear him in her laughter. She got red hot while he grabbed his coat and stomped outside to the foxes. Bang, bang, bang. His rifle shot off, running the foxes' head towards dense woods. Crush grabbed Amour to force his coat on her new body, then carried her to the bedroom. As he laid her down on the bed, he felt her shivers and listened to her cries. Crush wrapped her in a blanket as he told her the ways that she had overstepped her role. With his love, the heart she stole had put her in debt to being submissive to his demands, his plans. Crush knows that the dancing with the foxes is a childish thing. Crush's badgering stirs her independent nature. In his love for her, he restrains. With his love for her, he controls. Amour stands up as his coat slid off her body as slow as molasses syrup. His heart grew with desire. Amour explains that his love for her is childish. Was she never to do anything she enjoyed? Amour tells Crush that her role is as a lover, not a slave. Amour opened the window, winds that carried cold rain droplets with fresh air. She knew the storm was coming, and after it cleared away, she knew that he would know. Amour slid down the great green stalk. Crush watched her run into the forest. While the rain came down, he knew that his love should have given her freedom to live fully.
Sure.
Okay, this one's about people betraying each other when they, you know, they like separate, you know, and the dangers of it. So this one's called Flame Wildfire. Unaware I was a pawn of a cunning game, a pawn for sure, as royalty and knights are not treated this way. I cried to God for the blessed waters to put out the fire in my heart, all the way to my skin. Skin flushed as fast as fire ants on their prey. A flush of red flushed skin, which was holding inside the body of a heart on fire. It was quite sneaky fire. I'm sure it was only lit embers. You walked on past my fire so fast, and when you left me behind, my heart caught air and grew fire. I fought so hard against the fire to hold it back. Then I saw from the distance, I was so broken over you. The weakness caused me to stop denying the fire in my heart, like a whirlwind lingering too long. Whirlwind of air caught the fire, fire spinning like a whirlpool. The fire whirlpool turned into a fire tornado, with my heart in the center of the tornado. Whiplashed from you afar, not a whiplash on your skin that holds your mind and heart, a whiplash of the things that surrounded you. We are both now burned. You confront me from afar. I scream to God for the love of me and the love of you, God. Put a blessed ocean of water in between the miles, an ocean of restoration and cure for the burns, to feel the warmth of my heart's fire, but not the pain and storms that my heart stores. Apology to you in magic, apology in facing the fire. You scream over God's ocean that when the scene is clear, you'll send me a message in a bottle. I scream that anything in the ocean that's not guided by a boat would probably miss me. Do I wait another 15 years on the ocean front and become a prisoner of waiting? Ah, the Depeche Mode's policy of truth. I signed it again. A seat in uncertainty of the side of the game, captured by a king's promise. The heart has exposed the fire and burns, to always have thoughts of seeing you again, while you were playing a game on me with a plan to leave. Abrupt, plotted disownership of the intent to use me as a pawn in a game which I did not master the abilities needed to play back. A bottle came, although it wasn't yours. There's a green paper with gold words that said, pinch me.